Good morning to my Journey Well family, and welcome to my Journey Well with Joy and Natalie Monday Inspiration. Thank you so much for tuning in with me another Monday. There is no better day or no better way, to begin this week than with you right now. And so, whether you are listening from home, your car, work, the gym, wherever it is that you may be, I hope and I pray that this Monday inspiration will motivate you and inspire you to journey well now. So let's get to it. Um, as 2024 gets into full swing, I know one thing many of us have been reflecting on, and that's our relationships. And whether it be the relationship we have with our parents, our children, other family members, our friendships, our business relationships, our romantic relationships, even the relationship that we have with ourselves, we are reflecting and we're looking back at those relationships. And we know that we are doing our very, very best to show up for all of these relationships in the best way that we can. And as I reflect on my own circle of relationships, that I'm showing up for every single day, the one thing that the Holy Spirit reminded me of was that none of these relationships will ever reach its full potential if I am not in a true, authentic, consistent relationship with Him. I am realizing that I learn how to be in relationship with others when I have a daily authentic relationship with God, because I'm learning about myself, I'm learning about my purpose, I'm learning about really who I am in Him. And when I know more about who I am in Him, I can show up differently to the relationships that I'm trying to grow and to cultivate. And I realize that this happens because the best relationship that we can have in our lifetime is our relationship with God. And when I think about my personal experiences, sometimes it bothers me to know that I am truly selling myself short, because there are many times where I sacrifice intimate time that I could have with God for things that are of lesser importance. For example, sometimes for me it's Netflix. Sometimes for me it might be hanging out or just laying around or just being a little bit lazy and saying, okay, I'll do it later, till I really don't even have the time to do it at all because I have procrastinated. And when those things happen, I begin feeling guilty about it. That's just the emotion that I feel. But what I've come to realize is that guilt is not really the emotion that I should feel at all. So if you're ever feeling guilty about not spending time with God, guilt is not the emotion that you should feel. God doesn't want to guilt us into a relationship with Him. No relationship should be one where you're guilting them into doing things that you want them to do. That's like manipulative. So God's love is not one of us feeling guilty of not doing things that we want to do. But what I realize is what I should feel and begin to understand and recognize is when I miss out on my time with God and growing that relationship, I'm missing out on some of the most amazing experiences of my life. When I miss out on my time with Him, I'm missing out on His direction, on His love, on clarity, on peace of mind, um, on comfort. I'm missing out on intimacy. I'm missing out on joy. I'm missing out on just a true connection. I'm missing out on the growth within myself. I'm missing out on my own personal healing. I'm missing out on the validation and the truth of who I am in Him. I'm missing out on understanding that I am truly forgiven for many things. I'm missing out on His grace and understanding His mercy. And I'm missing out on that covering and protection. I'm missing out on the wisdom that I could have. I'm missing out on the knowledge that I could have. I'm missing out on the understanding and many, many more things that I could name. So guilt really should be the last thing I'm thinking about I really need to understand and recognize what it is that I'm missing when I don't have that closeness and that intimacy with Him. And I've come to a point in my life at 41 years old. I've come to a point in my life where I'm tired of missing out. You know, even if I just put the relationship with God to the side, sometimes I just feel like I'm missing out, and I'm come to the point where I'm tired of the missing pieces. I'm tired of missing out, and I'm feeling the effects of me missing out in my relationship with God in other relationships. It's spilling over, and I'm leaning, at least I've learned about myself, I'm leaning on my other relationships for those things that I can only get in my time with God. And that's a hard reality for me to come to. And so, as I am, motivating and inspiring my own self this week and talking about my own relationship, my encouragement for you is before you lean on your other relationships for the things that you need, lean into your relationship with the one that knows you better than anyone else. He knows every single thing about you and loves you unconditionally and wants to communicate with you and wants to have intimacy with you. Whenever you're ready, He's available. It's not like that call that gets sent to voicemail or the person that says, well, maybe not today, maybe tomorrow. Whenever you're ready, He's ready. He's available. Wherever you are, He's there. Whatever you need, He has. And that's just an amazing thing to think about. And it's almost like hard to comprehend, but it's true. It's factual. Your relationship with God is important. And it is the foundation of every other relationship that you endeavor to have and to be successful in. In Luke chapter 10, there's a short story of Mary and Martha, and I'm going to give you the quick version of it. So there was a gathering, and Martha found herself a bit in her feelings because, she's working and trying to make sure everything is good for this gathering. And she's kind of building up resentment with Mary because she's watching her. And Mary's decided, you know what? I'm not going to help with this. I want to be seated right now at the feet of Jesus, learning, being in His presence, because that was what was of value to her at that time in that moment. And so Martha's looking at this and she like, look, Jesus, you see my sister? She left me basically to take care of all of this. And I need you to tell her to come and help me. And so where she thought Jesus would probably have her back, He did, but He didn't say what she wanted Him to say. His response was, that Martha, you are so worried and you're so bothered and you're so anxious about so many things, but only one thing is necessary. And Mary has chosen that good part, that good thing, that necessary thing, and it won't be taken away from her. And so I want to close with saying we have so many things on our plates and so many things on our minds, so many things that we're busy with, and different relationships that we are juggling and trying to show up for. But this Monday inspiration is to remind you this week to intentionally choose what's necessary, the good part. Every day this week, show up for your relationship with God. Make it the first priority, whether it's 5 minutes or 50 minutes. Let the time that you set aside be sacred. Let it be authentic. Let it be intentional. Again, as always, it's your girl, Joy Natalie, and thank you for tuning in live with me this morning. You can always watch this replay or any of my other Monday inspirations on YouTube. The channel is Journey Well with Joy Natalie. And if you haven't, stop what you're doing right now or maybe later. Go like and subscribe, please. It is appreciated. I love you guys. And remember, the journey doesn't have to start tomorrow. you can journey well today.